So I'm actually going to unbox these together with you to make life a little bit easier for you guys that wonder what comes inside the box. I'm hoping these have rubber tips this time because the last pair of the meter didn't have them. And to be honest, if you don't have different size rubber tips, the earphone experience for some headphones, you might really be missing out. Now, let's see what it comes with. That's everything inside the box. Alrighty. We have the case itself and the earbuds. We'll get to that in a moment. USB-C, like before. If you have a regular USB-C cable, it's going to work just fine for this headset. Though I will warn you guys, you OnePlus users, y'all have 30 watt, 50 watt, 65 watt, possibly up to 120 watt chargers. Don't use that for this product. I mean, I just wouldn't suggest it. It is an $8 product. You don't want it to explode. Not saying that it can take a higher charge, but those safety mechanisms typically aren't in regular headphones. So let's just take a look at this right here. If you look at the earbud, that's weird. The other pair actually had it where it was like little sensor tips, but I guess since these, okay, the other pair actually had the headphones inside of them. That's why, and you had to peel off the tip. So I'm going to assume that these probably aren't charged at the moment. They do have a physical button. Is this a physical button right here? No, that actually might be a touch button. Nope, I think it's touch button. So they are touch buttons. You have your case right here, and we'll look at the instructions in a moment, but this is the case itself, which is odd. I would have wanted the USB-C on the bottom, but you know, beggars can't be choosers. It's not that serious. I do have many headphones, and they fit right inside. So let's try it together. This looks like the left side. Did that go in? Okay, it did. And you have the charger meter right here. That's weird. I would have thought that would be a lot brighter than what it is. That is really, really low. I can't, is there like a plastic film over this? I'm hoping it's brighter than what we see right here. Look at that. That is really, really, really dark. And you can barely see the battery life. So what it does here is you can see the left earbud and the right earbud. And this is the battery life of the case itself. So while it's charging, these earbuds, when they're fit in and you see the earbuds right there, it means that it's actually charging. And like I showed you with the other pair right here, is this is left side, right side, but you see how much brighter it is actually on the meter, the Bass Jaxx meter. What's weird is that this headset, even with the box, doesn't even show what is going on. It doesn't even show the name of the product, but I'll make sure that I have that in the description for you guys. It just says true wireless earbuds. There's no way when you go to Bluetooth, that's what it says. Maybe it does, I don't know. But if you look at some specs, Bluetooth 5.3, charge time 3 hours, playtime 24 hours. That's just total with the headset like we talked about. It doesn't have any type of IP setting whatsoever for this, which, you know, I'm not surprised about that. It's $8. Even higher end headphones, some of them don't have IP settings, which is a total ripoff, but to each their own. That's a conversation for another day. Let's just go ahead and see how it take the earbud out. So you have a little groove right here on each side. When you put the earbud in, you just pull it out. It slips right out without a problem. Here's the earbud right here. I'm guessing that the light is going to probably blink a solid color when they're connected, but that's cool. For right now, we're not syncing it. I'm just showing you how it is. And let's do a little shake test. All right. Okay, so it did take quite a lot to make this earbud pop out. So if you're one of those people, obviously if you drop it, it's probably going to pop out of its case. If you have it in your pocket, I don't think this is going to come out of your phone whatsoever. With how many times I shaked it, my arm actually hurts a little bit when I was shaking this. It's pretty solid. Like it's in there. It's definitely in there just fine. I don't think you're going to have any issues with these falling out unless they're in a purse or something that's a little bit different, a book bag. I think it'll be fine. If you have keys and other stuff and you just stuff it somewhere, it might pop out. If it's in your pocket, it seems to be pretty secure. And again, I'm not a fan of how light this battery is right here. Like, it should be a lot darker. So I'm going to see if I can adjust that. Maybe the case needs to be charged a little bit more. I'm hoping. But anywho, let's go into the next section. Let's figure out how to sync these bad boys in real time. So the syncing process should be super easy. There's 2 ways to sync. Now, the 2 ways don't always work with every headset. I talk about this every video. So I started doing it this way because people were asking me, how do you sync headsets? So here we are. So the first one is for a higher end pair of earbuds, you could just pop the case open. Let me give you an example. These guys right here are the OnePlus buds. Open it up, close it. You have a sync button on the back if you hold it. So it's a little bit different, right? But for the more generic pairs, for the most part, you have to take the earbuds out of the case before you sync it. So before we do that, I'm just going to go ahead and go to the Bluetooth settings, like I always do for you guys. and I'm going to show you what happens. So right now, I'm pressing pair to new device. It's not popping up. My phone is popping up, which I'm recording off a OnePlus Nord N30, but nothing else is popping up, just the things around the immediate area. So I'm going to take these out of the case and show you how it looks to sync them. Let me see. 1, 2. Alrighty. And what happened? Oh, so that's what they're called, 24-hour TWS. That's the headset right here. So as soon as you tap them, that is clever. Because they did say that they last for 24 hours. So that's, I'm not going to say it's cool. It's one of the laziest Bluetooth names I've seen in a while. But at least it's true to form based on what they're saying. So these are currently synced. As you can see, when you take them out the case, they start blinking. The blue solid light means that they're synced. Once they're synced together, you are good to go. Very simplistic, very simple. And just to show you that it is in fact synced, I'm sorry, left side on the left side, right side on the right side. It'll pop back inside the case. You'll see the little symbol here that is charging like we talked about previously. Now, if you go over to the Bluetooth, I want you to take a look at this in the corner, the top right corner. Show you. As soon as I take this out of the case, so you know that it's actually connected to this and nothing else, we'll take it out of the case. These don't have in-ear detection, so just give it a second, it'll sync. See if it pops up. Yep, see that Bluetooth symbol? And this was blinking white for a minute. It was blinking, it finally registered. It is connected. So very simple, very simplistic. Don't confuse it for other earbuds. I know some people have issues where sometimes the earbuds don't sync at all. Then that's when you have to go into like a manual setting if the headset has it, where you have to physically hold the touch buttons and power it off and power it on and have them sync to one another again, which I will show you guys in another video, but right now this is more of an unboxing thing. So with that being said, let's go over to the next section, and that is going to be how it sounds in real time. So let me be completely transparent for this part of the video. Now, I have a pair of these rubber tips, are actually large tips. They come off the OnePlus Bud 2s, right? And the reason I'm using those is prior to this headset right here, which was the Meter, the rubber tips were super small and I couldn't really get any sound out of them. And unfortunately, these guys here do not come with anything outside of this size that comes basically the medium tips. So with that being said, let's go ahead and do the section where we're going to talk about how music sounds. Let me go ahead and connect these first. Let's see. Yeah, they're not very deep in the air. If you look at the rubber tips itself, they're not very big. But let me just see how they fit as is and let you know if they need to be switched. Now, they do fit pretty deep in the air, unlike the other pair, because of how round they were. And that's the problem that I had with them. I felt like they didn't really think that through when it comes to the design. So let's see here. Let's go to other. Let's see. Beautiful Mistakes with no Megan Thee Stallion. The best version. So far, they sound pretty good. They're clear. Okay. Sounds pretty good. Okay, so it sounds pretty good so far with Beautiful Mistakes. The audio, in my opinion, the voices sound a little bit louder than the bass. It sounds a little bit, okay, again, each headset's going to vary when it comes to sound. The instruments playing in the song, the vocals sound pretty good, pretty crisp, pretty clear. Now, I didn't play it at the highest octave. I am going to play a different song so I can get an idea of, you know, just how far the quality of the music can go. So, let me see. Corn do? Let's try Corn. Which one is this? Okay. Very loud. Ooh. Okay, sounds pretty good. Now let's try to change the ear tips. And I'm gonna let you know how that sounds. So I apologize for the quietness, but I have to just, well, that makes a huge difference. That makes a huge difference in quality of sound. That's nuts. Just by changing the rubber tips to something different. Ooh, it sounds good. Okay. Okay, cool. They sound pretty good. So let me see if they can fit back in a case now that I changed the rubber tips. Yes, they do actually fit. Get out of here. So that's actually a good thing. So let's talk about it. Music quality. They sound really, really good. Now, I want to be perfectly clear with you. These are the rubber tips that come with it right here. These are the rubber tips that come with the meters. Look at the difference in size. That's ridiculous. The difference in size is huge. So these feel like more like medium, large tips. These feel like more so small. And the problem is that if you have smaller rubber tips inside of the air, pause, on your headphones, the sound doesn't sound as big. Now, obviously, if you have smaller eardrums, that differs. But if you have like, I'm not even gonna say normal, because I don't wanna say someone's not normal for having smaller or big eardrums. But anyway, the point is that if you have medium ear tips, that's more so the universal fit for a lot of people. Larger ears is going to use the large or extra large sizes, or you may have to order them depending on whatever type of headset that you have. Now, with this one, these sound very, very good as is with the mediums. The bass, I want to say that the bass is pretty decent. If I had to put the bass from a 0 to 100, 50 being normal, 100 being the highest, I would give the bass about a 50. The average. It's not bad at all. It's nothing noteworthy, but if you decide to play something like Korn, which I did, I ended up playing, I actually forgot the other song, Beautiful Lies, right? And I think I played 3 things. I could be wrong. I probably played 2 things. But the point is that, oh, and the last one was Chop Suey. So when I heard certain parts of the song, let me just say that the quality is pretty low quality, meaning it doesn't sound very sharp in my opinion. Now, there wasn't much breakage. When I turned it up, it did give me a headache. I'm not going to sit here and act like this has some type of volume limiter. It does not have it. So for you people out there that love blasting music and blowing people out of the water outside where you don't have to hear them, yeah, they'll work for you just fine. But you're probably going to damage your eardrums because my head is still ringing just from the couple seconds that I use it right there. What I will also say is that if you do get bigger rubber tips, they will fit inside the case right here for the ears. Unfortunately, most of the headphones used to come with small, medium, and large. For whatever reason, they decided to skimp out on that and be cheap, though I do appreciate the 24-hour battery life. But in my opinion, the average person isn't going to go on Amazon and try to order rubber tips, or they might not have another pair at home just lingering around to put on the headset. So that can kind of turn some people off. But if you do have other headphones at home, I think they sound really good. They feel good. The quality feels very nice in my opinion. I was going to do a quality section and show you in the ear, but to be honest, they're in-ear earbuds. They feel just fine. I don't have any issues whatsoever. No soreness unless I'm playing it beyond 60%, and I'm playing music that requires me to really like I picked stuff that had a lot of bass, like instruments playing purposefully, just so I can see how well it meshes. And so far, like when you listen to the beginning of Chop Suey, or if you listen to, let's say, certain aspects of it where the guitar is playing, the riffs, whatever you call it, the guitar, it sounds super, super clear. But when the bass comes in, you could definitely tell that it's not quite distortion, but it feels like the music is struggling because more instruments are being included. I'm going to give you an example, and then I'll cut over to the last part. I know I can rant, but hopefully this helps somebody decide whether they like these. If you've ever had FL Studio, it's a music app. It's on PCs, on different things, Mac, right? I had it on PC on a very, very old laptop, many, many, many moons ago, right? Well over 2 decades, roughly. About 2 decades. Was I 17? No, I was probably 20. I don't remember. And when I started putting multiple instruments in, the headset would screech and stuff, right? Now, it doesn't do that at all. But you could definitely tell that if a guitar comes in, and then vocals come in, and then bass comes in, and then claps come in, and then snares come in, and then like, you can feel the shift of each instrument coming in affecting the headset for the worse. Now, what I'll say is $8. It sounds pretty good. Don't let my review discourage you. If you go to Five Below, I think these sound super good for that price tag. But be aware of the fact that if you're used to using J-Labs or Skull Candies, you're going to notice that it's noticeable that the headset isn't that great compared to those. I just want to kind of give you a metric, because normally something like this would probably cost you $15, $20, back in the day in FYE, versus you can go get a pair of Skull Candy Dime 2s for $14.99 or so, or $12.99 at Ross. So it's like you have different variations. You don't always have to pay regular price, but for $8, I do like this. It sounds good. You can't go wrong with it, really. Now, some of you might get defective models. Again, I'm not responsible for that. All I can say is when it comes to Five Below, I kind of expect it to work and sometimes not to work. So anyway, with that being said, you heard me say a lot of talking and the picture stayed exactly the same. My bad here. Let me give you some background photo. There you go. Anyway, let's talk about whether this headset is actually worth purchasing. All right, guys, so I'm going to be perfectly clear here. I like this headset. I don't understand why this is as light as it is. Personally, it says 51%. It's supposed to be a lot darker based on the picture, but it is what it is. It is the base Jaxx product, and I didn't buy it just for the outside sensor. Though what I will say, if you look at the meter, you open that up, you close it. Hold on, let me show you. Pop that open, pop it in. That is much brighter, right? And I actually kept this on there. So I don't see any type of film on this whatsoever to peel. So I'm guessing that this is just how it is. Or maybe I should have picked a different color, but it is what it is. It's not that serious. In terms of music quality that we talked about for you guys that skipped it, it sounds pretty good. The bass is average, in my opinion. The vocals sound pretty good. Each individual instrument doesn't sound bad at all, but when they're combined, especially for bigger parts like the chorus of a song, you know, that's normally the big parts, or if the song gets a little bit hyper and just more things start happening in it, you notice that the sound is struggling to keep up with every instrument, meaning evenly. Like AirPods, for example. Let me just throw anything out there. You know how across the board it's pretty solid. This is pretty decent for the most part, around the range of 40 to probably 60% versus volume. And then when it turns up louder, you start to feel it struggle a little bit, but not enough where it breaks apart. You got 24-hour battery life. Now, what does that mean? Your headset is not going to last 24 hours. Your headset's going to last a couple hours of charge, and then you pop it back inside the case, which normally would be a deal breaker, but because it's up to 24 total, that's not so bad. Especially for an $8 product, that is amazing, because Five Below had never had anything like that before that was 24 hours, at least around the time when I started doing reviews. They could have had it before, and it's just been recycled again. I don't know. I like it so far. The feel, it feels good. I haven't had any issues when I put them inside of my ear. I mean, obviously different ear sizes are going to feel a different way, but they're super lightweight, and I don't feel like there's any hardware. Like when you look at this, right? When you look at the shape, it's small. It's form configured. This goes into your ear. Obviously, the rubber tip is the original right here. And all this right here goes into your ear just a little bit around here, not so much the outside of the earbud. So it just feels much more comfortable than its counterpart, the meter over here. So I like them. I do suggest them. For $8, it's not bad. What I will say to people, and I have to iterate this enough. Did I say iterate? You get what I mean. I have to explain this. The reviews that I give you guys when it comes to sound and stuff is based on Five Below products. So when I do a comparison, especially with JLab or different things, and I mention that, I'm referring to the price tag and just trying to explain to you that just a $10 difference will give you a substantially different experience, if we're being honest here, especially if you go to Ross or Frequent Burlington and places like that tend to sell JLab, JBL headphones and things like that. It's kind of just first come, first serve if they happen to be there. But when you do find it, pick up a pair because they're pretty decent for the price tag, and they'll last a whole lot longer than these in terms of just hardware in general. I like these. For $8, they're not bad at all. I don't think you'll have an issue with them. Would I suggest giving them as a gift? Yeah, absolutely, especially around Christmas time where you can buy a bunch of stuff. I normally do care packages, so it'll be this, it'll be figurines, it'll be headphones, different types. It'll be a bunch of different stuff that I think people want with something that they actually want. So everything else is just kind of like an extra fit in, like an Easter basket. But I do like these headphones. So with that being said, I wasted enough of your time. Like and subscribe like always, and I will see you guys in the next video.